friends, how are you? I hope you're doing well and staying sane during this kind of crazy time that we're in right now. I have been sharing lots of handmade items on my Creative Art Facebook page, and just to try and inspire people. And now I've switched a little bit of my attention to some other things, like this little video that I'm sharing today. So this is a project that I saw the final project from someone, a demonstrator from Stampin' Up! Had completed it. And I thought, how cute is that? And it's something that you should be able to make with things you already have at home. And also, too, it's something that I think would be fun for you to make with your children or grandchildren. And I'm calling this my Rona Recycle Project. And what would be more appropriate in a Rona Recycle project than this little guy? So this, because we all have a lot of these around. So this is going to be the base of this little book that we're going to make. And I've created some of the book already. And then we're gonna go through a couple of the book pages on this video so that you know exactly how to do it. So let me just turn my camera around and face it down so that you can watch this project. Make sure I get this all straight the way I want it. Okay, looks good. So here it is. This is 3 of the pages that I've completed, and I focused this one on this time that we're going through right now. So it's all around the coronavirus and social distancing and staycations and quarantine and all that fun stuff. But this is basically, so I'm going to end up making my book 5 pages. And here are 3 of them that are complete. I wanted to show you the complete ones so that you'd have an idea of what we're after and what we're trying to create. So I have, this is the toilet paper holder that I've just flattened really well and scored it with a bone folder to get it nice and flat, as flat as I could, and then covered it in some pretty papers. And then it ends up having a little pocket where you can put a tag. In this case, I've got tags in there, but you could also just use paper or maybe small thin photos or something like that. So, and having the hole, I punch a hole at the end. That's all I did. I didn't close the end off at all. Just having that hole punched and putting the ring through keeps the tag from falling through. So this is basically how we're going to make this little book. Kind of fun, can't touch this, social distancing, COVID-19. And then on this tag, I've got straight out of toilet paper. That's funny. Wash your hands, you filthy animal. Little toilet roll. And then what I'm doing on each of the tags is I'm attaching a month calendar page for each one. And then I can go back and circle some things, like I believe the 16th might have been the first date that our office closed and we all started working remotely. So those are some of the things that I'm going to want to note off here to the side, or you can even attach another piece of paper. But so I'm adding these calendar pages to the back. I do, if you want to create this and you want you maybe don't have some of the things to make it, just let me know. It would be a nominal fee, but I have things like the rings, little different kinds of tags, and I have these little calendar pages. It's all very inexpensive, but if you'd like to do that, just let me know and I can get that for you. And then this page, social distancing queen with a nice little crown, quarantine expert. And then on this one, I just added some pattern paper down here, let's stay home. And this is going to be April. And then for May, I have Staycation 2020 with got some bling on there. And then a few little quotes that I pulled out of a little book of word quotes from I think it's a Tim Holtz book. So do your best, never give up, stay strong, choose to see the good stuff. And then this little tag is, and the world came together as the people stayed apart. Let's stay inside and save lives. And this is for May. So there are 3 of the pages all complete. And like I said, if you don't have tags, you could just use, like cut a piece of cardstock, right? Just a regular piece of cardstock that'll fit inside. And then you can use like a circle punch to make, 2 circle punches and attach them like this to make a little pulley. Or you could, or if you have a any kind of a tab punch or tab die, you could add that on there, or just leave it blank like there. You could also just punch a hole right in here and put some ribbon through it. So you don't have to have the tags to make this work, but you do have to have the toilet paper rolls. So hopefully you have some of those hanging around. All right, so let's make some pages. So I've got some things all together here for this one. So I've got March, April, and May already done, so I'm working on June. So here's my toilet roll, and again, just flatten it really well. I think I put some of them, I flattened them, and then I put them under some heavy books for a little bit, because they really do want to, go back to their round original shape. But so flatten that really well. And then you just want to find some cardstock. In this case, I've got a piece that's going to cover the whole thing. And what I want to do is I want a little bit over the edge so that I've got a smooth front, and then it's going to just fold over on the back like this, or this way. I mean, either way, you can have that fold over. All right, so that's all we're going to do. So you're just going to want to cut your paper to the right width. I always like a little bit showing on the edge. And then you'll need twice this long plus a little bit. So you can just measure that out. I'm not entirely sure what the measurements are, but okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get some adhesive on here, and I want to make sure I've got plenty on there so that it's not going to fall apart. I don't normally use that adhesive runner. I usually use my big ATG gun, but so I wasn't used to that going over the edge like that. All right, so I think I want this, let's see, which way do I want this to go? I'm gonna go this way. All right, just make sure this is pretty even on both sides. Get it down nice and flat, and then this will go over and cover that up and try and get them even on the edges. There, that's it. So no longer a toilet roll center. We've got it covered up. Okay, and then I thought maybe I'll just put a little bit of this blue on here just for fun. So I'm going to just wrap that just to get a sense for how long it needs to be, and clip this off. I might need that little piece. So really, you can use a lot of scraps here as well. A little bit of adhesive on here, just in a couple spots, so it'll stay down. I think I'm going to go right there. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to match this where that connects right there. Okay, there. All right, so this is my front. And then I had this cute little guy. So where did these come from? These I got from the internet. So here's one that I just copied recently, and I just did a Google search for like clip art or little quotes, anything like that. I think it was clip art, quarantine, or COVID-19. Really just do any kind of search for that. I did look for free ones. I think some of them I'm not sure entirely if all of these ones that I'm using today are free, but I'm not selling them or anything, so I'm just using it for my own personal needs. But you can just search for free clip art, and then I print them on my computer in color ink onto nice heavyweight cardstock. So that's where all these fun, cute little things came from. And as I mentioned earlier, I used this Tim Holtz ideology. It's full of all kinds of neat little quotes, and so I grabbed some of that for this page right here. All right, so that's where you can get some, again, free things. So our toilet roll holders are free. Clip art is free. You could probably find these little calendars as well. As I said, I've got some. I think mine are like $1 each for the whole year. And then a lot of the paper can be just scraps that you have. So make it work. And so I'm going to just put this on the front. And I'm not going to do anything fancy with this one. I'm going to just adhere this to the front. A little bit more here. And I just wanted this extra little strip on here just to kind of give it, just to set it off a little bit. So I'm going to just put that right in the center. This was, again, one that I printed off the computer, and then I went in and colored these in. So I had some of my Tombow markers, and I just went in and colored these in just to, personalize it, make it a little bit more fun. So there's my next page, and then I'm going to finish the tag. And for this one, again, I've got scraps, so I'm going to use them. And this is just some scrap paper from projects that I've worked on, and I think I'm going to just add this right here to the side of this tag. And then maybe add a little bit of this too. Why not? And then go back in here and just trim off this excess. And you can make tags too. I was telling you about this cardstock. You can just, if you like the tag shape, what I do is I just eyeball this piece, okay? And then you can take this and flip it if you're particular about it being equal. If you're not particular, you can totally eyeball the other side too, but you can take this way, and then you got your own tag. So that's another option. And if you have those cool reinforcers, remember we used those when we were in grade school? You can punch a hole and add a reinforcer on there. So here's my tag. Let's see. I'll use, do I want to use this ribbon? That might be a little bit too much of the blue. Maybe I'll just use some of this twine. So again, just anything you've got hanging around. And I'm going to do this one. So this is the month of June. And let me get that on the back too right now while I'm talking about it. And the month of June for my family, it's a pretty important month because my oldest daughter, Danielle, graduated from the University of Waterloo in June. We were supposed to go back for the graduation, but because of COVID-19, we couldn't. So hopefully we will get a chance to go maybe next year. We'll see. So I'm going to just add this. I want this little tag on here. Again, this was something from one of these images, and I just happened to circle punch it. So I'm going to add some ribbon on here with this twine. Just tie it into a bow. And then you can always clean this up a little bit. And if you've got a little bit too much going on, you can cut some of that off. I don't know, there's never too much twine and ribbon and stuff, right? It's kind of fun. Okay, and then I'm going to also add this one. Quarantine hair, don't care. Isn't that the truth? I tell you, I have learned that, you know what? Maybe this gray hair isn't so bad after all. So I'm going to just add that to the bottom of this tag. And then I have room if I want to write something about this month right here. And again, like I said, I will go back here and circle. It was the 19th of June was her original convocation date. So I will go and circle that and make note of that and maybe something else. This is now done. Let's see, I need a hole punch. This is the wrong size. This is the size I need. And so I'm going to just kind of, again, eyeball, you know, I eyeball a lot. I'm just going to go in here, kind of look centered. Yeah, that looks about centered. Punch it. That's a little bit hard to get through. So if that's too hard for your hands, you can actually open this up and go in one side, and then you'll have it lined up to go in the other side. Okay, so now that's ready. And when I add it to my book here, you know, because like this, you know, my tag's going to go right through, right? It's going to go right through. Sure it is. What's going on? Why is it stuck? It's stuck on something in there. Oh, the toilet roll holder was kind of falling apart in there. So it's a little bit stuck, but that's fine. I'm not going to want it to go all the way through anyway. So I'm attaching it to my book here. So now I've got page 4. And I'll have to fix that piece in there that's kind of stuck because I want it to go in a little bit further than it is right now. But I think I got a piece of toilet roll that's kind of come undone inside. So it's kind of sticking on that. So there, 4 pages done. And then I'm going to do one more page. Let me bring all the pieces in here. So I'm going to do this one. And here's an example of pieces. So that's that. So for this one, okay, so here's my piece of paper that I cut. Now again, you know you've got your width, and we went twice plus a little bit around, and so what I do is I just kind of get it in place. I want that little bit to go around, maybe a little bit more, to go around to the back. So I'm going to have a nice clean front, okay, and then just kind of line it up. And then it helps to sort of get those edges down so that when you go to glue it down, it'll be easy. And then this piece, I think I might leave a little room in between. I think that's kind of a nice look. I could have butted right up against it, but I think I'm going to leave a little bit of room. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Fold this around. Make sure it's going on there straight. Make sure this lines up at the back, like so. And then just kind of press this down so when I go to glue it, it'll work really well. Make sure these edges go all the way across on those edges. You want to make sure that you get those. Okay, so again, here's my front. So I'm going to put this piece around the back like that. And then make sure I line them up just like so. Okay, there we go. And then same with this one. Get some adhesive on this piece, a little bit on the sides. Make sure these edges are good. Got a little bit sticking over. Okay, that looks good. And like I said, now make sure, okay, there's where my little flap goes. And I'm leaving this little bit in between just because I like the look of that. Okay, and then line this up on the back. There. So there. No one knows it's a toilet roll holder. Toilet roll holder. All right, and then let's see. I'm going to do my tag next. We're now in the month of July. I'm going to just put that on the back. just kept this really simple, really. On the front, I think I'm gonna take this across the front like so. I think that's gonna be my design here. So I'm gonna just add this paper, add that adhesive right here, put this across, line it up on this edge so I only have to cut one edge off. That looks good. And then just trim this off. All right. And then that's my decoration for this one. And this one's going to be caffeine and quarantine. Yeah, that's me. As long as I have my caffeine, I'm good. And I think I'll put that off to the side, maybe in the center. That doesn't matter. It's all good, right? Okay, that's that one. And let's see, I think I will use a piece of this, and I think I'm gonna just tie it in a knot. So that's probably about how much I need. So again, you know, where, oh, that's, love when that happens. Kind of funny. It might mean I'm gonna want to like pull them both sides apart when I get this done. Okay, so I'm gonna just tie this here like so, nice and tight. And then, yep, well, that's, maybe I should have used this on the one that says quarantine hair don't care, because that's about sometimes what my quarantine hair looks like. So yeah, I think I'll just pull some of this apart too. Just make it nice and frayed. It's kind of fun. I might cut a little bit of it off. It might be just a little bit longer than I want. Yeah, that's okay. Clean up my mess here. Almost done, ladies. Ladies and maybe gentlemen. Okay, so there's my tag. Got my month on there. And then for the front, I am going to use, oh, I love this one. Not today, virus. Not today. And so I had a punch that did this nice shape out of another scrap of that paper. And then I'm going to just come in here and punch this with a circle. Okay, like so. And then this one will fit on this shape. Get that as equal as I can. And then this can go right on the front. Not today, virus. Not today. There we go. And then punch this. And again, like I said, you can go in, if it's too hard on your hand, go in just one. So right through the inside. And then you've got it lined up and you can do the other one. Okay, and that's a lot easier than going through the two. And then here's our last one to add to our book. So I'm going to add that on here. Close that little binder ring. Add my tag in there. And I mean, I'll probably do a little more embellishing than this, but for this video, I just wanted to basically show you how to cover these rolls up and make your little tags and some fun things that you can do with it. So there's my book. And I think, you know, it's kind of important to journal and capture some of the things that are going on right now. This is probably, let's hope, a once-in-a-lifetime event that we're going through, and I think it's important. So this is kind of a fun little thing to capture this. And once I'm finished with all my embellishing, I'll probably come in and add some ribbons around here just to finish it off. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you give it a shot and maybe make your own little book. It doesn't have to be a quarantine book. You could certainly do something different, including putting like little gift cards on some of these tags. That's also a fun thing to do. So again, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.